Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxchair, on the show this evening as the one and only Bridgeman and the legend, or legendess, who is Jodie Pollock. Evening, boys and girls.
Hi.
Can I just say a big good evening to you, Jodie? Huge good evening to Oxchair, and a big good evening to the guys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How we doing, Bridge?
Excellent tonight, pal. Excellent tonight. My co-commentator is going to be really good tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt. One more sleep, one more wee nap, and again.
Oh, yes, please. A wee nap, a wee sleep, and a wee victory. That'll do me fine. What a great day it'll be tomorrow. Great day.
How are you, Jodie?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Excited to see Rangers again tomorrow. But yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Aye, good. Looking forward to having you on. With some great feedback on the last time. The people loved you. They loved your singing. They loved your personality. They loved the fact that you threw your dad, your boyfriend, your brother under the bus.
Everyone cops it. That I hide it. But yeah, thanks so much. I got such a lovely amount of feedback, and people were so kind to me. So thanks so much. People were already commenting cha as well. So that must be.
We've got one of them on here. He loved a bit of that. Didn't you, Bridge?
Indeed, yes, pal. Absolutely.
He's actually been banned for doing it. Mrs. Bridgeman's banned him for it.
She's banned me for a few things, I'll tell you. Shocker.
Right, we planned for the night. We'll get an interview for Steven Gerrard talking about the game. I think that's quite interesting, obviously. We'll come here after it, but there's a bit of an interview that's not very clever for the journalist in Scotland, as a surprise. And then we'll open the phone lines. Is that all right with you, Jodie?
Yeah, good with me. Good to go.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, please, let's go for it.
Right, get yourself to mute and let's hear from our gaffer, Steven Gerrard, MBE.
Morning, Stephen. How are you getting on? Just wanted to quickly have a look at your thoughts on reflecting on Thursday night's Europa League victory and also looking ahead to the draw with Slavia Prague.
I think really pleased and satisfied with our performance. I think it was an outstanding performance from the boys. A lot of superb attack and play. I think the first 3 goals we scored were high-level goals, and we've praised the boys on the back of that performance. I think in terms of the draw, I think it's an exciting draw for both teams. I think both teams are on a real exciting journey from a personal point of view. Performed ever so well against some high-level teams along the way. I think obviously Slavia knocking Leicester out was a big coup for them because Leicester are going so well themselves. So they're going to come into the game full of confidence, and rightly so, but we'll be ready, we'll be prepared. We've got some real important league games prior to that we need to focus on. But we are really looking forward to them 2 games, and I think the mouth-watering and may the best team win and get to the last 8, because that opportunity really excites us.
As you said, it's a very exciting time for yourself, the team and the club, but how has the focus been during the past few days and getting ready for tomorrow night against Livingston?
I think we have to stay focused, we have to stay concentrated, because nothing is done or achieved, and we want to get over the line as quick as we can, and the only way to do that is to respect Livingston. They're on the back of a tough weekend, so we're aware that they're going to be a little bit wounded and they're going to react from that. So we've done everything we can in terms of our preparation. Still got one session left to go this morning, but we're really looking forward to what's next, and that's the only thing we should focus on. But you're right in saying that we've got some wonderful opportunities in front of us in terms of what March is going to present, and we want to go and grab it and capitalise on it. And the only way to do that is to go and find performances, and that's what we need to focus on.
Livingston are famously a very well organised and committed side. What attributes will you be looking for from the Rangers team tomorrow night to get the 3 points?
Well, I think we have to handle the environment and the pitch. Obviously, it's an AstroTurf game, which obviously gives them an advantage. I think Davey's done a magnificent job with Livingston since he's become the #1 coach. I know he was there prior and he had a big influence prior, but I see a more positive Livingston. I see a Livingston that is pressing higher, that's got more energy and more quality in it than previously, with all due respect. I think the last game we played against a low block that didn't have any ambition to come anywhere near our goal. And that was a challenge for us, and we didn't have enough quality to break that down. But having analysed Livingston in terms of the last 10-15 games that Davies led, they're certainly more front foot, they're pressing higher, they're more aggressive, and they're creating more. So we see this as maybe a slightly different challenge than one we faced previously, but it's one we need to be ready for. We'll have to compete, we'll have to fight, we'll have to do the ugly side of the game, and then hopefully our quality will take over.
Stephen, can I just first of all check the team news, especially Leon Balogun? I think he took a bang before he came off at the weekend. And also just ask, you mentioned the excitement about what March has got in store. I'm just wondering, how big a month you see this in the context of your sort of Rangers spell, just the chance to obviously go and complete the title and the challenges in Europe that are in store this month as well.
Well, I think this season, because of how last season finished and how the previous two have gone, I think every month has been extremely important. Because we're obviously coming into March, everyone thinks that March is going to be the pivotal month. But if I can just take you back, we had to start the season ever so strong. Then we had to build on that. And then people were telling me we had to make sure we had a real positive Christmas period because of the amount of games and what was coming up. And then all of a sudden, January was the key month because we had Aberdeen away, we had Hibs away, we had the Old Firm. So it was almost like January was the biggest month of all months. And then we come through January, and then all of a sudden February was important. And now we're in March and everyone's talking about March. So every month this season has been key and important, but we've completed them all because we've been consistent, we've been hungry, and we've got the right results. The only setback we've had is St Mirren, which is a phenomenal season so far. March presents the opportunity to get over the line in terms of the league. We want to go and grab that as quick as we can. We don't want to wait. We don't want to stumble. We want to go and win this league. And that starts tomorrow in terms of our performance at Livingston. In terms of the Europa League, we'll be patient now and wait for that to come around. But again, we're really excited for them 2 games, and we believe we've got a decent chance to improve on last season's journey if we can find the level of performances that we've just had against Antwerp. But we know Slavia will be a bigger challenge because they're in the last 16 as well, and to get to that level, you have to be a good team.
And Leon,
sorry. In terms of Leon is struggling for tomorrow. He's got a niggle in the quad muscle that he came off the game with. So he's a big doubt for tomorrow for sure.
In terms of the key players recently, but the players who've come in have just come in and slotted seamlessly into the team. How key has been the extra time with the training pitch the last couple of months to being able to have that sort of squad mentality?
I think the volume in the squad and the right personnel. I think our recruitment was strong in the summer. I think us having a real strong pre-season has set us up for the season. And I think in previous years, maybe the squad hasn't been ready for us to miss key figures or personnel. I think we would have struggled because we've maybe been reliant on certain individuals too much. But I think the biggest compliment I can pay to this squad is no matter what name has been suspended or injured or been missing, we've coped extremely well. So that tells me that the squad's in a fantastic place.
Morning, Stephen. Just picking up on what you were saying about the months that have gone by, with the consistency that your players have shown, how impressed have you been that they've managed to do that over that time span? Because as players and teams often get close to the winning line, sometimes you see them tighten up, sometimes you see them feel the pressure How impressed have you been about the mentality of your players?
Really impressed with the mentality, Charles, and I think we've spoke about it on numerous times about where we've been trying to get to, what we've been striving for, and it is that level of consistency and that hunger. And I can't pay the players any more credit, really, because from day one of pre-season, they've all been in the zone, they've all been focused, they've all sacrificed a lot, and their applications have been spot on the training pitch. The level of training, the intensity of training has come out in the games, and that's certainly helped us to get to this point. I don't see any nerves. I don't see anyone training and feeling tense. And I think if you look at our last performances, they've been really high level, and I want to see that from now till the end of the season.
Just a follow-up, has that been different to last year and the year before? Have you noticed a difference in that?
Possibly. I've definitely seen improvement. I've seen a squad that's evolved really well. Individuals getting better, maturing, and I think with experience, we've grew as a group for sure, 100%. This is a fantastic time to be at Rangers. The excitement levels are high. We've got so much on the horizon to be excited about. But I've said it before and I'll say it again, nothing's achieved as of yet where we sit right here, so we've got to go and grab it and achieve it. And the only way to do that is to go and find performances that are good enough.
Hi Stephen, just on that excitement, do you have to encourage your players to really savour this time that they're going through at the club as well as keeping their focus?
Listen, we've got to try and enjoy it. Of course, we've got to try and savour it, but we've got to go and achieve it. We've got to go and do it. It's obviously close. It's getting closer. You can feel that. I want the players to try and enjoy this and be excited by it. But at the same time, keep that focus and that concentration that they've had since the first day of the season. If we do, I'm sure we can go and achieve it. But of course, we're at that stage where we need to try and enjoy that. That's what we're all here for, to be part of a big club and to try and achieve success. So I want the players to really enjoy this moment.
Stephen, just on that as well, when will you let yourself think about what you've achieved personally as a manager this season?
When will I allow myself? When it's done. Listen, I'm so proud of this group, what they've gave. I feel for the supporters because they're not here to share this and enjoy it in terms of being close up and being with us. We've tried to make them proud from the first day of the season, and the players have done an incredible job. But once this is done, trust me, there'll be no one happier and prouder than myself, because I don't think we'll realise the size of the achievements until it's done, because we won't allow ourselves to drift and wander too much, because we know we've got big challenges right in front of us.
Morning, Stephen.
Morning.
First, we've been in this conference. Liverpool have announced the death of a great Liverpool player, a legend, and a great Scotland player, Ian St John. Sadly, the Saint has died today. Can I give you a chance to give us a tribute to the Saint, please?
Well, that's a shock and a surprise to me. I didn't know that. I've got nothing around me to see that breaking news, so I'm really disappointed to hear that. He's an iconic figure at Liverpool Football Club. He's someone who I've met on numerous occasions, and fantastic guy. Really insightful in terms of his career and his experience at Liverpool, and trying to pass on a lot of knowledge and expertise. So really devastated to hear that news, to be honest with you, and shocked as well. So I'd like to send my condolences to all his family and everyone close to the Saint. He's a legend and an iconic figure at the club, and someone who I've got incredible respect for.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, we're all back. Yeah, Jody, Bridgeman.
And indeed,
yeah. All right, we'll leave that idiotic comment. Well, no comment, but crass remark at the end of the interview to the end. But as far as the team's concerned, it looks as if Big Balogun's not going to make it, Jody.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's a shame, and I hope he's he's recovering soon and it's not the worst, but at least we've got, I know people maybe have mixed opinions on this, but it is good that Patterson made his apologies, came back into the team, and we've got that covered, because losing Balogun and Tav's a massive blow for us.
Especially also with Ryan Jack could have filled in there, Jodie. He's played there. But he's out as well, so we're down to the bare bones in that position. Yeah. Not
a fun time.
No, but we'll get through it. Bridgeman, you quite like Big Balogun,
I quite liked him, and you know, it's a sin he's injured. That's another injury to add to our tale of woe. But the young boy Patterson, we've all been saying for a wee while, he looks as if he's going to get if he gets a good run, gets himself a good run, he'll be quite a good player for us. And he showed that the other night, getting his goal, and played a really good second half, I thought. And he'll just slip straight in there. I think he'll just slip straight in, no problem at all. It's against Livingston. It's going to be tough. 16
seconds on the pitch, and he put the foot in, so you could see that he wanted to make it up to us.
Yeah, it was some introduction, Jodie. It was a great result and a great performance, and that was a big moment in the game.
Yeah, it was. It got the confidence back about the squad. That was the goal we needed to go on. So.
It was a good goal. The boy took it well.
It was a brilliant goal. See the angle as well that he had to hit that at. It was very well taken. But you can hear, like, even with the fake noise that they play, you could hear him screaming, like, and you could see how much it made him. So I think he's realised what he done. I think he has definitely learned from his mistake. I mean, he's been with the youth academy since he was 8 years old. He has a big Rangers fan. I just think he just was a daft wee boy at one wee point, and he realises now that you're a part of something really special. So hopefully that's him capitalising and taking that opportunity now.
Us daft wee boys, Bridge, have been known to make the odd mistake, haven't we?
I've made one. Like I know, of course. Yes, I've been known to make a few, particularly on the football pitch. But what can I say? I've done it, and that's all there is to it. I'm guilty, my lord, many times. So yes, mistakes have been made, but it really and truly, that young lad, I think him and the guys over at that party, like we could all say, well, it's in the past, blah 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 blah, and it is, and maybe the manager just wants to get it all sorted and get it behind them all, and that's great. Our big difficulty is that our authorities, well, they won't see that as the end. They're going to come in and give a number of game bans as an official punishment for it. That's what they'll do. That's what I think they'll do anyway. Maybe they won't, but I think they'll do it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But what I say that I think Friday maybe on the show, Jodie, one of the things that pleased me was when he did score the goal, the fact that all the squad get right round about him. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that at the time.
The support, and it meant, like, you can. Do you know what I mean? Gerrard said it himself. He's got kids himself. He wants people to learn that if you make mistakes, there is ways to right your wrongs. Now, I know there's a pandemic going on, and I know there's worse things, and I know people are saying, what about Edmondson and Jones? Why were they treated differently? He's a young boy. It was youth players. I mean, I'm not excusing it, but he's came on. He's apologised. That would be hard for him to do. It'd be hard probably for him to slot back into training in case the team are maybe thinking, like, what if we get reprimanded for your actions? What's going to happen now? So I feel like he's had his punishment. I believe the same. I don't think it's the last we've heard of it, but he definitely went out and put out a performance for us. So it's good to know that we have a young boy ready to slot into big moments. I mean, a Europa League game, that's not just slotting in and scoring a goal at home to an easy side. It was a tough game, and he really, really made his mark. So hopefully he just continues on from there and goes from strength.
Apart from the first 16 seconds, Bridgeman, he actually had a good second half. I mean,
an excellent second half, of course. Yeah. Yes, of course, excellent second half. And by the way, I know I said that the officials, the authorities, they're going to do something. I must admit, I'm still waiting. I'm doing something about Bolingoli coming home from his fraudulent trip to Spain. played a game of football in the SPFL and still never get anything done. Nothing.
Yeah.
He get transferred. He's away. They're not going to do anything to him. SFA, that is. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable.
You will be back. And also there's the other ones that broke the COVID regs in Dubai.
For the Dubai guys. Yeah,
the Dubai guys. Anyway, we've been joined by our Amanda. Evening, Amanda.
Good evening. How are we all?
All right. How are you?
I'm fine. Just my point was about Steven Gerrard. Yet again, how humble a manager have we got when he started talking about Ian St John and saying how much praise he had for him as a player and how much admiration he had for the guy. You know, that says a lot about Steven Gerrard's character. And the fact that, you know, when they said in the interview, he said, "Now, believe you and me, when we do eventually win this, we'll know how much it means to the club and the fans. We'll know, you know." And it's just that way he says things, like, just dead humble.
He's a class act. Jodie P.
That's like, he took the words off me. He's class. Like, he's just a cut above the rest. The way he talks, he's very well thought through. He also doesn't take any nonsense from any of the media outlets. He won't answer stupid questions, but he knows not to spit the dummy. He's very, very clever, and he is honestly a joy to watch. He's one of the best managers I've ever saw speaking. Like, I actually look forward to listening to him after the game. It's like a TED talk. It's so educational, no, but he's just so good. Like, he's an absolute joy to watch, and I literally pinch myself still to this day the fact that he's our manager. But yeah.
I'm no one for spreading rumours, as you know, Amanda.
What's that?
A lady, and she is a lady who comes on the show, got delivered a life-size Steven Gerrard.
I'm going to get one if it kills me, I tell you. I'm determined I'm getting that. If I'd been 50 this year, I'd been begging Dad to buy me one, do you know what I mean? But I'm kidding. I'm 51 getting one, you know. But what got my COVID jagged days? That was an experience. Anyway. But no, just Steven Gerrard, he's just such a class act, isn't he? I get goosebumps. I think I'm a bit like Jodie. I think I get goosebumps listening to him, you know. And you know what it's like walking into Ibrox on a Saturday with the Ibrox roar ringing round the stadium and the follow chants and all that. And it's just a world apart. You just can't beat the Ibrox experience, can you?
Bridgeman, he's a class act, Mr. G, isn't he?
Look, I have to say, echo what the lassies have said there. It's really and truly, I feel, in all honesty, he's the best thing we've had. And maybe my memory's dulled with the sort of 2012 up to present, or up to like 2 years ago. Really and truly, Souness had a great time. Walter Smith had a great time, but this man here has done something that I've never seen before. This is all the fans all coming together. The club is like resurrecting itself. It's just fantastic. Just utterly unbelievable. My God, keep it going. Everybody, please, keep it going. Great stuff.
I just think he's just, it's a different level from what we've had before. It's just, he's got an intelligence about him. He's no daft, because he knows how to answer like the reporters, or so-called reporters we've got up in this country. He knows how to answer them. You know, he's got an answer ready for them, but he's not nasty about it. He knows how to answer them quickly and precisely. You know, there's questions that they ask him about, you know, what do you make of it? For example, if a player makes a bad tackle, what do you make about that tackle, Mr. Gerrard? You know, I'll discuss that with my players when I see my players. That's for them to discuss with me, no you. You know what I mean? And I think just the tactical side, he's brilliant. I'm not Jodie. I'm a world apart.
Well, and he doesn't look like David Dodds neither. Come on, admit it, Amanda.
I think I better go and take my medication now.
Yeah, right. Always a pleasure.
Anyway, take care. Nice hearing for you, Jodie. Right, take care.
Calling in.
Bye.
Stevie's got a crush. Amanda's got a crush on Stevie G. She's not alone, so is Bridgeman.
Shocker.
No, he's a class act. He's a leader, Jodie. Yeah,
He knows what it's like to lead a team, and I think as well, if you were coming into one of the old firm teams, you need to know the fight and the passion. See, being the Liverpool captain and like growing up through the academy and just being a Liverpool boy, and that's him. Like, he gets it, and he admits himself. You hear it in interviews, and I don't know if any of you have watched the podcast he done with Robbie Fowler, and he was saying, like, I knew about Rangers. I'd been to a few old firms. I think his manager or someone in his team is at Rangers.
Agent, yeah.
He took him to Ibrox and stuff, and he felt the buzz. And then he's like, "It's not until you step into this club that you realise what it's about." And he's obviously speaking with Souness and Smith regular, so he's got some good mentors around him. So yeah, he proper gets it, and I can't say more than enough that he's just a joy to listen to. Like, you'll know yourself when we had like Kishinya and stuff like that, you didn't even want to listen to the stuff that came out of his mouth, like dog barks and the caravan keeps moving. Like, you don't do that. So whereas when the game's over, I'm like, right, everyone shut up, I want to hear what Stevie G has to say. He's a class above the rest.
Yeah, we've been joined by Dave from Cumbernauld. Evening, Dave.
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Dave.
I've just got 2 wee points, if you don't mind.
On you go, mate.
We more than likely Alfredo's leaving in the summer, and I would suspect Defoe's most likely transitioning to a coaching role, because if I remember right, he's still on a loan deal. I might be wrong about that. And
it's a permanent deal, mate. A permanent deal. He signed a contract last year. He finished his contract with Bournemouth and came last year.
I apologise for that.
That's
I couldn't
right,
remember
that's
if he
right.
signed him or not. And Roof seems to get injured quite a lot. And for me, I know it's a wee bit unpopular opinion, Eaton Disney cut the mustard for me. And I was just wondering, do you think is there any rumours going about with the striker situation? I think we could maybe another few coming in the summer.
Oh, the only strikers I've heard on here is young GB, but that's another kind of strike. Roof obviously will depend on his fitness. You're right. We looked at his stats, but he doesn't miss as many games as you think when you hear about his sick note tag. Itten, I would say, it'd be fair to say the jury's still out, but even though the boys scored a few good goals for us, we've not seen that much of him. Morelos, is it certain he's going to leave in the summer? Jodie?
I don't think so. I know this is always a debate, and people are like, "Oh, you would take the money and whatever." I think for a crack at Champions League football, I think it's going to keep a lot of players intrigued, wanting to stay at Rangers, and I think he's really liking his football just now. He thrives in the European competition. I don't think he's going to go to the Premier League unless it was like the English Premier League, unless it's one of the top 4 teams. I can't see him getting enticed away because the prospects we'll have. I'm not saying that after he has a crack at Champions League that we're going to secure him, but I think we'll still have him come summertime. What do you think?
I think I can see where he's doing better and better in Europe. Morelos obviously shines a lot brighter in Europe than he has done most of the season thus far. But I could see somebody coming in, but I wouldn't take any less than 20 million for him. There's players that have went for more than that are diddies. And Morelos is about 2 or 3 times the player in some of the transfers that have went down in England. I would suspect he most likely won't go to England. I think he'll more likely go to a French team. That's been the more concrete evidence that's been come thus far.
I think it depends what happens in the market. But with Morelos scoring goals in Europe, Bridgeman, his stock rises, doesn't it? It's the European goals that make his stock rise.
Oh yes, most assuredly. Look, if he can play the next tie in the same form as he's played this last tie and the tie before that, and my goodness gracious, he's going to be what an asset! What an asset! His stock's going to rise and rise and rise. He's just a wonderful player all round. I mean, I think he's the best player we've got. Just brilliant.
He just plays a different role. He's we've seen him being that out-and-out striker, the one that's saving us. Like, if we didn't have Morelos, we'd crash and burn. Now we're seeing a role where he bullies defenders. He opens up the play for other players to get in and make their mark. So you have the likes of Hadji, Kent, Aribo, etc., being able to get into the box because of all the work that Morelos does. It was so infuriating for me when I saw so many people saying, oh, Morelos isn't scoring anymore, like, that's him, he's no feeling it, and you're just like, he's playing a different role and he is critical to our team. So I think he's a brilliant player. He would definitely be a loss for us if we lost him, but I think he'll want a crack at the Champions League.
Dave, do you think he seems happier at the moment? I think he seems really... He's a good place.
Before one, he kind of cut, I don't know if it's maybe me just reading into things, but he kind of cut into a frustrated figure. He kind of skilled quite a lot when playing, but whenever I see him now playing, he seems to have a smile on his face and he seems a lot happier. Maybe that just comes with age and my experience, but I think it'd be really funny if he got the Fair Play Award in the Euros. I think that'd be quite
for UEFA, that would be brilliant, wouldn't it? That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Did you see?
He's a good remember. He's a totally dirty player according to some people. I think that'd be funny if he got the Fair Play Award.
Yeah, Jodie.
Did you see his Morelos' interview on Rangers TV?
Yeah, I did. We couldn't put one here. We didn't think it would work, but it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so cute. He's like, I love the club. It's good for the club.
Are you Colombian?
God. Half Glaswegian, half Colombian.
She does impressions as well, Bridge.
Sounds brilliant, doesn't it? Sounds brilliant.
She's a female Mike Yarwood, you know what
I thought it was Alfredo Morelos that was there.
How did that go? Wait, say it again, Jodie?
It's good for the club.
Definitely.
Aye, Alfredo there. Dave, do you think he goes, or have you resigned yourself to him going, Dave? Are you hoping he'll stay?
I don't want him to go. Don't get me wrong. I don't want him to go. I'd hold on to him as long as I possibly could. As a player, he kind of reminds me Tevez. Maybe that's just me. Kind of plays that kind of role. And do you know? I really hope that we can hold on to him. But if somebody comes in with funny money, do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say no to it, because there's maybe one or two players out there you could maybe get in a similar sort of role, but I don't think there's anybody that could really replace exactly what he's doing right now. He's more than a striker now. He brings people into play. He's able to envision stuff happening now, and maybe now that he's got that entire team around him, and it's not just him anymore. He'll think he's staying because it's not just him carrying it all the time anymore.
I get your Tevez point, but I can see similarities. The nearest one I've seen to Alfredo, and Alfredo's maybe not at the same level with him, Bridgeman, would be Suarez. I see a lot of similarities there. Funny how the three of them are all South American, but I can see...
they're very, very similar, aren't they, in their style of play. Suarez was an out-and-out striker, and he started a wee bit similar to what Morelos was doing, picking the ball up and making sure people get it, things like that. But I don't think MD in the world has changed as much as Morelos. This last 12 months has been fully as a striker behind, sitting behind and waiting the ball coming out, and it's just fantastic, picking the ball up, holding it in, bringing people in. I could go on and go on. Could go on and on. Just fabulous.
Aye, but hopefully he'll stay there for a shot in the Champions League after we've won the Europa Cup,
do you know, people would laugh at that, but I wouldn't put it out the realms of possibility. I really wouldn't put it out the realms of possibility. The way that we are playing right now, and once we've got the cup, the big cup wrapped up, we can worry about the other one more a wee bit. So I really
you never know.
Nothing out a possibility. We fear no foe. That's what we say.
Oh, see what you done there, Jodie. Impressive.
She keeps changing the subject, doesn't she?
She's too clever for us, mate. We're back up there. Once we get the league wrapped up, and even Stevie G saying his interview there, don't know if you picked up on the Jody. He wants everything all done and dusted by March, yeah?
Yep.
And you come, Jody?
Oh, I just realised my thing cut out there, sorry.
That's all right.
No, yeah. Done and dusted by March. Some may argue that it was done and dusted by January, but that's another discussion for another day. Yeah, there's just, I don't know if everyone else agrees. Let me see, like in the comments or people commenting in, but phone in, speak to us. But I genuinely feel there's such a buzz about this team. There's such a belief. Like, do you not think like the players get it? I feel like that was something we were lacking. Like, we were just going out, they were losing, and then mind we were putting up banners like less time tweeting, more time playing football, like stuff like that. It was just like there was just not this buzz about the team, and just I think every fan is so excited this season. Like like Gerrard, I keep saying it, he gets it. I don't know how to word it any better. Like, we've actually got a manager that gets it and knows what it means to the fans. People might dispute, well, what's he won and it's been you're going on your third year, but he was given a job to stop the 10, and by God did he deliver. So yeah, I couldn't be happier right now.
You're not alone. We've been joined by Bob. Good evening, Bob.
How you doing, folks? All right,
mate. Yourself?
Hi, Bob.
Listen. Hi, Bridge. Okay, mate. I've just been listening to the discussions there, and I'll narrow it down a wee bit. We're managed by an icon. We've got an iconic manager, a man whose status in the game is it's unbeknown. And we're an iconic club, and we're on the verge of going into the world's most iconic tournament. So, Mr. Morelos, what's naughty like? Why move on to something less? If we can give us another year of your services, then we'll all appreciate it. We'll all still love you, Alfie. Because he's going to be up there with Suarez and Tevez, I think so. That's how highly we'll rate the boy. So let's get it done, get him a deal done, let him to stay another year, and then he can get his big move that he desires. But if he thinks the grass is greener on the other side, there's better players than Alfredo Morelos found out that it's no. He's in a good place, the club's in a good place, we're on a good place. March is going to be a great month. Bring it on. That's what I see. That's my take on it.
That's a good point, mate, you make there. And I'll take this to Bridgeman and then Dave. When people have left Rangers in the past, iconic players, Brian Laudrup, Jim Baxter, for instance, the only one I can really think his career went to strength would have been Van Bronckhorst. Bob Chair.
That's right, aye. I mean, he went where? Arsenal, eh?
And then
Barcelona. Barcelona, aye. Yeah, but I can remember Jim Baxter leaving Rangers. He went down to a struggling Sunderland side. I actually seen him play at the Hawthorns one day against West Bromwich Albion, and he didn't look quarter of the player he was with Rangers. Money's no everything, Ox. All right, the level of money that you guys are on, I wouldn't mind, but happiness and contentment's a big thing, even for a footballer. So, as I just says there, a new iconic manager, iconic club, going to be in the verge of playing in the world's biggest tournament. What's naughty like? Let's go on with it. We're in a good place, a great place, a place we never thought would be back in again. So, there you go. A contented club for the first time in a long time.
Dave, somebody's come in with Gattuso. Yeah, that's a fair comment. He done okay, didn't he? World Cup, European Cup.
Aye.
Yeah, Gattuso. Dave, when you come. Oh, what's Dave? Bridgeman.
Well, I agree with Bob Gerrard so far as Jim Baxter and so on and so forth concerned. And Gattuso as well. But I think Gattuso was a very young lad, but he made it all the way. But I think there was something seriously good about Van Bronckhorst. Rangers could never have held on to him, never. He was just absolute class. And some of the stars that we brought in were going the other way. We were bringing them in at the end of, or nearly at the end of their career. But really and truly, Baxter was just amazing as a footballer. And he went away to Sunderland and then on to Nottingham Forest, and to tell you the truth, we just know as Rangers fans he was never going to be the same player when he left Rangers. Never ever going to be himself. No. And when he came back, he was obviously not the same player. But we welcomed him back. We welcomed him back.
Obviously, these are all before your time, Jodie, but it just shows you the grass isn't always blue on the other side, is it?
Yeah, I mean, before my time, but don't worry, my dad educated me well, so, but yeah.
Listen, some of the players are before your dad's time. Don't make me
Aye, Jim Baxter came back. His first European tie was against Gornik Zabrze in the UEFA Cup, and he was a passenger. There was a player that night told us about, it's called Lubanski. You remember him, Bridge?
Big Lubanski. Was that the game? I was at the game.
I was there, pal. I was there, I know. And Jim Baxter was a poor, you know, was
a poor imitation, eh?
A poor shadow of his former self. All he was that night, and it was a tragedy to look at him that night.
But I have to admit, I would never have blamed Baxter. I'm going, sorry, Oxford, I'm taking over here with the memories just come flooding by. I know, sorry.
Carry on, the floor's yours.
No, well, I was going to say that we were always at the Courtland end, and that night we were losing. We lost like 3-1 or something like that over there.
3-1.
And we scored first and got a goal, and we were looking for the second. And if my memory serves me right, and Collins ball came in, Steen headed it or back-headed it over to the back post. And there was wee Bud Johnson sitting, the ball landed at his feet, and he smashed it into the side net, and the whole Ibrox erupted because the net went, you know. You just thought it was a goal.
That the game at Ibrox?
That was a game at Ibrox, aye.
That was Jim Baxter that scored the goal that night for Rangers, mate.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Believe it or not, it was a tap-in for a couple of years. I remember it.
Yeah. I remember 1-0 up, and then Lubanski, the goalkeeper picked the ball up, and we were still numb, if you follow me. We weren't watching. And he just put the ball down and he punted it up the park, and the ball ended up going from one player to another, right into Lubanski's path, and he smashed it into the net. Well beaten.
Anyway,
world class player.
We've been joined by Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Bridgeman. Evening, Jodie.
Rudy boy. How's it going?
I'm good, Bridgeman. Thank you. Jodie, can I just say something? It's so nice to hear somebody that talks sense on this show for a change. Smashing. It's smashing.
Bear. What a shocker.
What I would say to that, Bridgeman, is those who throw stones shouldn't stone in glass houses.
You know what I mean? What did you have for your dinner tonight?
Oh, I had a lovely lasagna the night, Bridgeman. It's lovely as well. And a right big slice here. The missus says to me, "You haven't made of that?" And I says, "What do you think? Put it back on that table again. Don't put that up." I've not finished with it yet. And I had a nice bit of garlic bread and a wee salad to go with it. It was lovely, so I'm pretty stuffed up now, Bridgeman.
Making me hungry, Rudy.
What about the Tom Stolman diet, Rudy? You fancy having a go at that?
Oh, listen, I tell you, can you imagine trying to stock his freezer and fridge up from him? I don't know if I could put away that amount away, that big fella must stay. But that was a great interview, Ox. I really enjoyed that, so it was brilliant.
What I loved about him, he never had his passion for our club.
Smashing. I'm going to keep a wee eye out for him a wee bit more often. I mean, I've seen him in the papers and stuff like that, Ox, you know. Sort of a wee passing interest in, you know, what he's been doing in the World Championships and stuff like that last year and whatever. But now I know a bit more about him and I've heard the boy in person. He was just an absolute gentleman, wasn't he? So I'll keep a wee bit closer eye on him, I think, now for now on, Ox.
He wanted a seat in the Hummer, so I had to throw 4 out. But there was no arguing, mate. No arguing.
I bet you Fox and Bridgeman didn't like that one, but...
What's on your mind, Rudy?
Well, just thinking about Alfredo, because I was saying the other night, you know, how do you replace Alfredo? You know, when you see his last couple of performances, we know how good a player he is, Ox, and what he's capable of. I mean, I thought his performance last Thursday night was just outstanding. So it was. He gave you everything in that match. He scored the goal. He was involved in all the other goals, you know, assists, winning a penalty. It was just outstanding. I mean, he ragdolls defenders all over the place. He's such a handful. And I think he'll go in the summer. I don't want him to go. That's no me saying I want him to go. No by any stretch in the imagination do I want him to go, Ox. Yep. I'd love him to stay for another couple of seasons. But I think if he does really well in these next 2 matches, you know, and he'll go in as well, he'll finish the season as a Scottish champion, part of the Scottish champion squad, he'll I can't see him being here past the summer, unfortunately, Ox.
Well, you might be right, Rudy. Only time will tell. If he can score goals to get us through, I'm hoping one tie in another tie in Europe, mate, his stock's going to be through the roof, you know.
I think if somebody comes in with a sort of crazy offer for him, Ox, I think how can the club knock that back as well, you know? Considering we signed him, I think it was 1.1 million, wasn't it? You know, so
I'll tell you, our managerial staff is so professional. They'll be looking at every alternative. If he stays, we do this. If he goes, we've got to look at plans in place. They'll have no stone will be left unturned by this mob.
I would hope so, because they are very professional. You just know the way the teams went about their business this season, Ox. They've learned for the last 2 seasons, you know. But as far as Alfredo goes, I'm sure. But I don't just think they probably do that with Alfredo. I think they probably do that.
Everybody. It's a job, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's Ross Wilson's job.
Absolutely.
Jodie, you come?
Yeah, I do agree with you. Like, I still stand by that. I think the way he's playing just now, unless you said like it's a crazy mad offer, he'll want a shot at the Champions League. However, I do need to agree he's a player that we signed to use as an asset. You're right, he was reported to be around 1.1 million when we signed him for. We've got more than enough out of him, and yeah, he's a major asset to the team. So obviously, if they can capitalise on him, make some money from him, that's the football business, isn't it? But I would agree, I'd hate to see him go.
If you look at the last 3 years, the last 3 seasons in Europe, Jodie, we're there because of his goals. He's dragged us through these competitions. No, dragged us through, I don't mean that. But he's got us into these competitions. He's got us into the groups. He's got us past the groups because of his performances.
He's a key player. He's a key player in Europe.
Absolutely, yeah.
He's usually fresh because he's had a few weeks off.
Well, that's another side to it.
Aye. But he's listen, I've enjoyed Alfredo Morelos. And Bridgeman, you reckon he's our best player, don't you?
Oh, I think Morelos has been our best player for the last 2 years. Given the fact that he's had a couple of run-ins with the law in this country. I don't mean the police, I just mean the authorities. So over and I'll take all that rubbish away and you'll see what a fine player that boy is. And the example was against Royal Antwerp at Ibrox the other night. And the game before it was just absolutely outstanding.
Involved in a single goal, both legs, home and away.
I'm saying that, right? Both of those in that full tie, it was absolutely outstanding. And there's been a few European ties he's been involved with where he was been outstanding there. But at that time, he was, as Rudy Bear said, he was scoring the goals. And he's the one that took us all the way and carried us. This time, he's winning the games for us by, not necessarily he scored the other night, but by making and part of the move and the creation and the way, the way he's receiving the ball and distributing it. It's just outstanding. It's just unbelievable. And that play that boy had, to me, it's one of the best players we've ever had at Ibrox, ever.
Yeah. And it's mental because people are saying that, I know you've not really seen it recently, but at the start people are saying, oh, he's not been scoring a lot and he's doing a different job, but he still scored 22 goals in the Premiership over the 2021 season, and Europa League he's done 8 and then 3 in the qualifying. He scores that many goals and he brings so much to the team, but he's not just a goal scorer like for our club. Like see the work rate he has. Like he literally is a powerhouse. He's a machine. I see the way he bullies defenders. That we would miss that so much. So I would say if we do lose him in the summer, we need someone that can do the exact same job. But I know that you can get strikers in, replace the goals.
You might not get Alfredo Morelos, Jodie. That's the problem, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, I think his game's evolved over the time he's been here as well, Ox. You know, if you look at the goal he created for Ryan Kent on Thursday night, the way he knocks the ball past the defender, goes by the defender for fun, gets to the byline. Look, you see him looking up. Ryan Kent's coming into the box. He cuts it back right on a tanner for Ryan Kent. Ryan Kent's got to get his foot. All he has to do is get his foot on it, and it's in the back of the net. Does the Alfredo with first game to Rangers. Do
No,
that.
couldn't have done that. Couldn't have done that.
No.
It would have shot. He'd have run and shot.
Yeah.
That's the way I used to play, Rudy. That's the way I used to play, Rudy, before.
I can imagine
Yeah,
that.
no, but Bridge was see the defender, he knocked it back. Did you notice he had Bridge on his back?
No.
Yeah.
No. I took it off him.
Jody, I just wanted to tell you something. I noticed. I don't know if you noticed. The Bridgeman keeps mentioning the law. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that. He's got a police record. Walking on the moon. Sorry, the bold ones are back.
And a few others.
And then we'll be joined by Alec for Wishy. And you come, Bob, yeah?
For it is, I was wanting to say, I mean, I hear Jody talking about giving our compliments here, quite rightly, towards Alfredo. We all love him. I was reading in the paper today, as we all would, about this team, this Slavia Prague, and they're paying them compliments, and we all know that they've just eliminated Leicester City. And I watched the game last week, and as I say for you, all they had to offer really was the frantic running of Jamie Vardy. Now, we all know this is not going to be an easy tie. It's the last 16 in the UEFA Cup. Mm-hmm. But believe you me, I think, and I'm sure everyone of Rangers fans are agreed, that Alfie is a different animal for Jamie Vardy. I rate Alfie 10 times the player he is. Oh, he's quick and he can shift. He's played in the English Premiership. But nah, I'm sorry. I think they didn't realise what they've got up. They're going about this big laddie that plays up front for them, and the boy that plays in the middle, very skillful player. But our front three can hurt people. Aribo, Kent, and Alfie can hurt people. So
anyway, we'll be joined by Alec Fisher. Evening, Alec.
Good evening, Ox there. Bridgeman. Jody.
Hi.
By the way, your music's fantastic, kid. Just keep it going.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
There you go. Love your music.
Thank you.
Bob, Gerrard, how you doing, mate?
You're a suit,
Alec. All right, Paul. Good to hear from you.
Yeah,
Love my music. Is that all right or not?
Oh, great stuff, man. Great show. I'm just listening to Alfredo there. Fantastic. I just hope I can get him tied in, but I've got my doubts. I've really got my doubts. I think somebody will come with a big offer for him. And it'll be too much. It'll be too much for the club to knock back.
That's my worry, Alec. That's my worry, mate.
Well, what's too much, Alec? What's too much? I mean, I know 20 million's not a lot of Bridge, but is that the starting point? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you, it's £20 million and upwards.
I said on the show on Thursday night after the game, 25's the starting mark.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
25's the starting mark. Rudy?
I can't disagree with you there, Ox. You know, I think the only thing that maybe dampened the price down a wee bit is the situation for the last season. You know, in most countries, you know, for leagues curtailed and all sorts of stuff is going on, obviously because of the virus. I don't think there's as much money kicking about football as there might have been had that not been the case. But I agree with you, Ox. I mean, if you pay 25 million for Alfie, you're getting a much more rounded player than.
Remember, Bournemouth paid 19 million for the boy Solanke.
So do you know? I see when we were talking about Alfredo the other night, I was going to mention that, and then we went on to talk about something else. Bournemouth 90 million for Solanke, and I don't think he scored a goal. He had hardly kicked a ball. But you look at Alfredo banging in goals for fun in European competition, and it's not just his goal scoring now. It's his all round play now, Ox. It's everything that he does on the park now. You know, the way he drags defences about, the way he brings other hodges the ball up, the way he takes the ball in and brings other players into play and creates space for other players. He's an all-round attacker now, so he is. So yeah, 25 million by English and European standards isn't that much, Ox, compared to what they pay for some players.
No, especially if he starts scoring goals in Europe. But look, I'm hoping I'm in the Jody camp. I hope he stays.
I hope he stays. I do, definitely.
I do hope he stays. I enjoy watching him. He actually makes me laugh. Some of the faces he does on you know, absolutely.
Where was it, Ox? They were taking him off. I think he'd scored 2 goals.
Oh, Ross County and Defoe and Gerrard were creasing themselves.
They doubled up on the sideline and they were winding him up as he was coming off. The look on his face was brilliant, wasn't it? You know.
Was that the game he ran round and took the ball after the goalie when the goalie was...
Do you know what? I think that might have been Ox. Yeah, I think it was.
Maybe that was the season before. But anyway, remember that Stevie G and Defoe were killing herself at the side of the park. You know, and he's always come across as if he's a popular member of the squad. I like it.
Oh, he's definitely well liked. His box office, everybody loves him. Well, apart from the opposition right now, but you can see why. But we all love him. Can't get enough of the guy. But fantastic. And they definitely done their scouts work there when they brought him out. Jonathan Johansson, he was behind it to get that by get the fella for it was 1.1 million or something we got for.
It was a lot.
Oh,
and he's
fantastic.
evolved. He's evolved. And he
and he's with, and they've improved him. Stevie Gerrard's improved him now. All-round footballer, runs the front line, takes defences all over the place, and that's what it's a bottomless pit that they can get for us guy in money. It'll be the biggest offer. I'll surprise you with the price for him. I just hope he doesn't leave, but behind me, I think he maybe go.
Aye, and hopefully we'll win some silverware, and he goes with everybody's best wishes, you know.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
You know. But aye, Alfredo, good player, good character, and listen, he's a bit of God in his home country. What he does for the local people, Jody, yeah, he does some amount of stuff for that village where he came from.
Yeah, the charity work he does is second to none. He's what is it? The Morelos Foundation, it's called.
Yeah,
Is it Alfredo Morelos Foundation? And is it Serret or something? It is, but yeah, he does some amount of work for them, and he is like I feel bad for him at times. He gets painted as such. People have commented that he's like a pantomime villain. Like, see the way the media portray him at times, and all the work he does, and it's hard to believe he's 24 years old. He's a year older than me. Like, he's a young boy.
Isn't he?
He is, and the stuff he does, and one of his interviews, I don't know if you remember, was it a year or so ago? They done an interview on Rangers TV again, and he was speaking like fully Spanish, and they had a translator, and he said he promised his family that they were poor growing up, and he'll look after them, and that's what he does. And I think it was when he was playing for Colombia, you saw his full town where he grew up, all sitting in the streets just watching and cheering him on. He's a big deal over there, and I hope they know how much of a big deal he is over here for us as well.
Yeah, here.
Well, we're going to have a tune. I don't know who's going to sing it, but we're going to have a tune, so get yourself in mute. And just going to give us a tune.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. To start a football team, they had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags. Sing with your heart and voice. Celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. For lives had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. dream. They had no money, no kid, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, but still going strong. 54 titles, we're still going strong.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, we're back.
Indeed.
Yep. I'll hear.
We'll let you critique the music tonight, Jodie. It's only fair.
Loved it.
54 titles and still going strong.
It's going to be mental changing all the words to 55, isn't it? It's going to take a bit of getting used to.
I'm looking for about 64 titles. I'm no greedy. Okay, right. We'll turn our attention. We've had a good talk about Alfredo Morelos. Bridgeman, what's your team for tomorrow night?
Oh, my team. That's a really good one. Let's think now. Obviously, I'll go for McGregor. I don't know how you call him McLaughlin. I don't know how he is. And does he play well on these? I can't remember if he plays well on the AstroTurf pitches. But I think it'll be easy enough to slot him in. But I would stick with McGregor anyway for me. And obviously, it's going to be young Patterson, Goldson, Helander and Barisic. Midfield would be Kamara, Davis and Aribo. And it would be Hadji, Morelos and Kent.
I've got one difference to you. On you go, Jodie. Your team?
I think mine would be the same. However, I would maybe... What in the midfield did he have? Davis, Kamara and
Aribo.
I think I would have Arfield start. I know obviously he's been out and he's not played a full game, but I think I'd give him the start. I'd go with Arfield instead. Arfield, Davis and Aribo instead, and then probably sub Arfield off for Kamara in the second half.
Kamara? Which midfield three then?
Aribo, Arfield, and I'm getting myself all confused. Right, wait 2 seconds. Let me piece out my team. Right, so back four. I'd have Arfield, Davis, and Aribo.
The midfield, okay then. All right. Mine's is slightly different to both of yours. Mine's would be the same back four for obvious reasons. Alan McGregor in goal, and then I would have Davis, Kamara, and Arfield, and then I would push Aribo one forward and have Aribo, Morelos, and Kent. That's my team. Rudy Bear.
I'm going the exact same as you, Ox. I was swirled between Hadji and Aribo, but I just think Aribo's big, powerful player nowadays, you know. So I think I'll go with Aribo pushing one further forward onto the right of the forward line, and Hadji will unfortunately have to take a wee break on the bench. Midfield though, I'm probably Davis, Kamara and Arfield. Just the same as you, Ox.
All right, Alex?
I would go with McGregor, Patterson, Golston. Who else we got? Helander, Bonner. Midfield, I would have Stevie Davis, Kamara, Joe Aribo, and up front, I would play the boy right, Morelos, and Kent.
Oh, there we go. Something different. Anyway, we've been joined by Jim, 115. How we doing, Jim?
Aye, all right. Listen, I apologise for last night for cutting it because I had a wee higher. And I'm just on the fight for going for one now. Just listening to the team here, I'd go for the same team as what you're saying there. I think we're going to need Arfield in there tomorrow night because I think we're going up there for a battle. I think we're going there for a battle tomorrow night with that mob. So my question is, by the way, to me, Jody, I'm sorry before I go here. Jody, I see there was a lot of talk maybe the last couple of years about having these Rangers boss nights. I think you could be the face for it, and the singer.
That's the goal. That is the absolute dream. So
tell me, by the way, I think you could be in there doing what that character doing in Liverpool does. I think you could be the face and the voice.
Get me my guitar, get me a stage, and get me some red, white, and blue flares, and we'll get it sorted.
Well, I'll tell you, by the way, I know that we're looking for some tune follow, and I think the member Oxes the last couple of years never can I talk about going down the same road. I think that could be a wee place in there for you.
Fingers crossed.
A good channel, anyway.
You want red, white, and blue flares? Fox has still got a pair.
Yeah, he's going to be sitting all on one.
I'm looking the other night. He showed us his white safari. Anyway, enough about that. That's a whole show.
I think we're going for a battle.
Yeah.
Up there the morning. I really do.
I get your comment. Listen, I think we've caught them at the right time. I think they'll be a wee bit deflated. They're pretty safe in the position they're in. I don't see a lot of change. I think they're going to finish the league 5th, but it looks at it pretty much.
Yep.
And I don't think they'll catch Aberdeen. But because the games are going to run out. But you never know. But I think they pretty much might be on the beach and we might have caught them at a good time. Jodie, you were meant to give your Nana a shout out before the tune. I forgot. So you can do it.
My gran. I was saying it's dead cute. So my gran, she tunes in and listens to me when I'm on Rangers Radio. She's pure cute and she loved the last one. So if you're listening, Gran, thank you. There you
go. There's something you can't do, Bridge. Give your gran a shout out.
Yeah. The truth. That's the truth. Can't even do that for my mother.
Right, Jim, it's going to be a difficult game, but I think if we play, we win. I've got to be honest with you.
Aye. I'd like to think so.
We should have enough.
Right, listen, I'm going to need to love you and leave you because I'm just about to pick up here again and I apologise for...
It's allowed to be busy, yeah?
I
know. Is that a taxi for Lennon and all his backroom staff?
Yeah, man, here. His ass when they touch my back seat, mate, believe me.
Right,
I'm going to cut you out now, right? I'm going to cut you out. That's for you, Henry.
Another fan, Jodie, yeah?
Honestly, I can't believe it. People are so nice to me, man. Like,
growing like
it's
Topsy.
so nice.
What did you say there, Bridge?
Says the fans are growing like Topsy.
You reap what you sow, Jodie, that right, Rudy?
What, sorry?
You reap what you sow.
100% right, Ox, aye. But she sounds like a lovely lassie. Nothing wrong with that. That's why people like you, Jodie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why
Rudy Bear, get a break.
Oh, she does, though. And she's still talking sense. That's over an hour we've been into this show, and she's still talking absolute sense, Bridgeman. You know what I mean?
We talk that as well, but there's a non in front of it. I don't see any danger tomorrow night, Alex. Do you? I've got to be honest.
I'm quite confident. Sure, usually going up there, you think they're going to a hard game. Not confident tomorrow night. Honestly. Sorry, Jodie, on you go, love.
No, sorry. I was just... What I don't want to walk away is with injuries on that pitch.
Yeah.
I think I'm more worried about injuries than losing the match. Or drawing. I think we'll get a win, but I just don't want any high, influential players getting injured. I mean, we're already having a bit of a struggle with injuries just now, like Balogun, Jack, Roof, etc. So I just want them to put in a good performance, walk away with the 3 points, and don't pick up any injuries along the way.
I'm glad you mentioned Roof there, Jodie. That's a good point. I mean, what we watched, the 2 games that Roof made appearances for. I don't know what anybody else thought, but I don't think he should have been on the pitch. Alex?
Yeah, you're right. He was nowhere near 100% at either of the games, so quite surprised that he did play. And that's knocked him. But tomorrow, you're right enough about the surface and that. That's the only thing that's the downside to that game. But play football, Rangers will beat them 2 or 3-0. I'm almost sure, no problem at all.
Yeah, Bridgman?
Can't disagree with that. We'll beat them. If we turn up, we play and win.
Yeah, we were discussing last night, Jodie, it's the first time in 10 years that we can actually win the league this week if things go our way.
Oh, I got wee butterflies there when you said that. Because I was saying I'm 23. I've had to put up with majority of my whole teenage years and adult, like watching the abysmal Rangers and all the hard times. So I know that it's a big deal for everyone. I know that people that have been through the whole 9 in a row for Rangers as well, this is still a big deal for them. But I think for like me, I don't know, it's just special. It's so special. So I'm all excited.
I don't think you realise how difficult it's been for us people in our 20s, Rudy.
Suffered a wee bit, Ox, haven't we? Some of us might know a wee bit more about that than others, though, Ox, you know. But Jodie's right, you know. I mean, I was thinking the other day about the, you know, like the wee bears and berettes that's never actually seen their. I was thinking back to the Zoom thing that they done, you know, with James Tavernier and all that, you know, the kids getting to ask him questions and talk to him. A lot of these wee bears and berettes have never actually seen their club as champions winning a league title, you know, so that's going to be their first one. We've seen many of them over the years, you know. They haven't. This will be like their first one, you know. So it's going to be so emotional for everybody, I would imagine. And Jodie's right when she says, you know, she's 23-year-old, you know, for a decade of that time, you know, she's had to sit and watch. Let's face it, it was Dross Rangers teams we had to watch, you know, players that would never have been at the club, seen the club as a basket case in the boardroom. And it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad at times, you know. So this is something we can all celebrate, regardless of what age you are, you know, or, you know, very a wee kid right up to your age, Ox, you know, and beyond. Maybe. You know, we can all celebrate this league win, this league triumph, because it's for us. It's for us all. We've all stuck by the club. The fans. Because of the fans, the club is where it is now, Ox. You know, no set of fans in the world deserves a league title the way we do.
I'm just ignoring that comment. I'm letting it go, but let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I like what you said there, Rudy, and I'll go to the older statesman, and I don't mean to be rude when I say that. Bridgman, it will be special for the kids of a certain age because they deserve it. Bridgman?
Oh, 100%. You know, I mean, there has been a lot of kids were in the queues and coming to see Rangers during the 2012 on. The place was mobbed with kids. It was wonderful to see. And these kids have never seen these championship win for Rangers. And they'll be there. They'll be buzzing. And it's all them that's over in that Broomlawn stand number 1 doing the bouncy and all the rest of it. Brilliant. They're the boys that need to see it more than anyone. Let Rangers win the league for the boys and let them go on with it because it's absolutely fantastic what they do, they boys. Absolutely fantastic. That's a Union Bears bit, isn't it? Union Bears? Yeah. Very happy. Yeah, well, they're young lads. I've watched them sitting up in the Courtland rear. Watched them sitting with their dads, their uncles, their brothers, or whatever. And before you know, they've drifted over to a Broomlawn stand, and away they go, and they're singing and dancing and all the rest of it. Wonderful, just wonderful.
You're just jealous you're not in there.
Oh God, I tell you what, I was doing the bouncy on. I can't remember one of the European nights. I was doing the bouncy. I couldn't walk for 3 days.
I was in there once and I was black and blue with bruising, but it was a great time.
To be fair, it's not the first time Bridgman's come home for the football black and blue.
That's an awful lot of truth in that. And that Rudy Bear's laughing there, and he probably maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't.
By the way, the reason I'm not playing Hadji is that I haven't watched him on the. It's not the day, but I don't think he's been doing all right. I thought he'd done all right on Saturday. It's just because at the surface, I think Aribo's more suited to it, and Arfield rather than Hadji.
Have you changed your thoughts on Hadji Ox? Because I know you weren't totally enamoured with him. Sort of maybe first half of the season.
You're breaking up there, Rudy. I can't hear you, mate.
Hello, can you hear me now?
You're breaking up, Rudy. I can't hear you. My thoughts on Mr. Hadji haven't changed. He's got potential. He's got things about his game. There's a lot to like. But I think there's also a lot to dislike. Has he improved since the start of the season? I think he has. Is he where he should be? Only time will tell. Do you know what I think? I think he's a wee bit lightweight, Ox. I think that's the thing I have in the back of my mind. He's fat, Rudy. He's fat.
But he's built like a beanpole, though, Ox, isn't he? You know, he could be doing with bulking up a wee bit. You know,
and you seen him standing next to Morelos last week when they were doing the teams. When you see the two of them next to each other, there's no lot in it, mate.
Right.
Yeah. Morelos is a dog for a fight, and whether Hadji's got the heart for the dog, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's hard on Hadji as well. Like, imagine having to be compared to your dad. Like, I know no one is, and I know he's never going to be his dad, but like, he's got some big shoes to fill. And I think when you hear the name, you expect so much. I think he's a very clever player. I think he does have moments where he completely shines, but I get what you mean. Sometimes the light just dims out, and it's a hard one. But I would give it. That's why he was in my team. I want to give him a go, see how he is. I think that he needs a bit of confidence behind him.
I mean, young Pot Bear loves him, and he thinks he's got vision, and he makes passes that maybe arguably that some other guys would. The turn and the passing move to Morelos last Thursday night, arguably he's the only player we've got that could maybe do that. Yeah.
But I think that's the positive side to him, Ox. You're right when you say that. He sees things that no everybody else sees, no other player in the team would probably see. Maybe with the exception of Stephen Davis or something like, you know. But certainly there's very few players in the team that can sometimes see the passes he makes. You know, when you look at the amount of assists he's got for this season, he's doing really well, you know. And he's got that to his game. I said it's a lightweight thing for me, Ox. You know, I just think he's got to bulk up a wee bit because the Scottish game's pretty physical. But I think
he's done some good things. He's done some good things, and I'll not take that away from him. And I only critique what I see. Bridgeman.
Yeah, I think Hadji's been a kind of on-off type form for a number of weeks. But I think he did a fantastic game as well the other night there. And some of the turns and passes were just outstanding stuff, you know. So I think there's a whole load of players in the top of their form over the last two games there, these particular European games. I don't know whether they're able, all of them, to replicate that form in the ordinary league games. But I'd hope that they do. I really do hope they do, because they're brilliant players. I just want them to do the same thing and get me 3 points tomorrow night. That's all I want. I don't want the world. I want 3 points tomorrow night. And then I'll think about the next game. That's the way I feel. But Hadji, yes, I think Hadji's a goer.
Well, funny enough, I might play him on Saturday, Rudy at Ibrox against it, man. You know, I would start him there.
I think I probably would as well, Ox, you know. I think it's going to be much more his type of game. And I think the fact that it's at Ibrox too, you know, and it's on the grass, is probably much more suitable for Hadji, you know. I just think he's got that knack of being able to unlock defences, so he has. And I would imagine, probably maybe not so much tomorrow night against Livingston. I think you'll see one or two things with Livingston. You'll either see a Livingston who'll want to bounce back for their disappointment at the weekend in the League Cup final, and they'll come flying out the traps and just really have a go at us, or you'll see a Livingston who's just not totally up for it and just decide to park the bus. But I think you'll definitely see that with St Mirren at the weekend at Ibrox. They'll definitely just park the bus.
See, I don't see... Oh, sorry, I don't... I don't see David Martindale, allowing the players to park the bus. I don't know if you remember his interview where he said he likes that style of football. He likes the pass and play. He likes being aggressive and going for it. I think we're up for a challenge. I don't think that we're not going to walk away with the 3 points, but I don't see them parking the bus. They've got a lot to play for. I think even with the St Johnstone game, I'm pretty sure they had the results. They were on some amazing form, and then it just kind of took a dip. I'm pretty sure, they get beat off Aberdeen. They get beat in the Premiership off St Johnstone as well. They're going to come out fighting, and Dundee United, I'm pretty sure, beat them, and there was a red card and stuff like that involved. So I think that it's not going to be a park the bus game at all. They've got a lot to play for.
I think they've gone 12 games undefeated, Jodie. You're right. I think it was 10 wins and 2 draws, and then they've sort of went through a wee spell, which is probably at a bad time. Their dipping form came at a bad time because as they were just coming up to a cup final, really, But you're right, they've had 4 or 5 kind of shady results now, so they have, they maybe want to bounce back tomorrow night against us. Like you say, David Martindale, he's come out and played football against everybody else. There's maybe no reason why he won't do it tomorrow night. You're probably right.
Can you come, Alex?
I think Rangers will just steamroller them tomorrow, and also St Mirren. I really think Rangers will go ahead with this team tomorrow night. I know about Hadji. I think he's got the potential of a wonderful football player. I think he's a class act, that young boy. I know I'm contradicting myself because he's not on the team tomorrow night. I was playing Scott Wright up for him. But Hadji's definitely, he's one for the future. I think he's a terrific player, that laddie. He can get into spaces there. He can see passes at nobody else, unlock defences. I think he's got it all.
I see he's been named in the top 10 young players in the world for his age with some survey. So, what do I know? But they never phoned me. But,
it's just doing it by opinions, isn't it, about the fella, But I just see something in this kid. I just see something in him.
Isn't it amazing he was selected for a top 10 place in one of the surveys? They never even made the sort of SPFL team of the month.
What a surprise,
Just incredible, isn't it? That's embarrassing, Either it's embarrassing for Rangers not having anything in it, and I don't know how many Dundee United players, and God knows the rest of them many Celtic players. But that's just unbelievable.
It's just laughable, Bridge, man.
It's embarrassing for the whole.
Question for you, Bridge, but was there any team, Scottish team, won a European tie in February? Was there any Scottish team?
Oh, yes.
Just wondering, mate. Just wondering. Anyway, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I've been told, and I've watched it closely, I want to give a shout out to one of our listeners on Facebook, always there for the show, listens every night. Mary Marr, we do appreciate all your lovely comments. They do get fed back to you, so all the best to everybody here at Rangers Radio, and we love your passion for the club and the show. Thanks very much for listening. Right, where were we? Okay. Is there similarities between Aribo and Hadji? They've both got the world at their feet. Alex, then Jodie.
Oh, really fantastic 2 players. Aribo, what do you call it? Aribo, he's got the magic feet. As I say, just out the 18-year box, that guy's unbelievable. In and out. Hadji's maybe I'd say he sees a pass. But they're quite similar, but Aribo's, I'd say he's maybe a finisher. And
you come, Jodie?
Cool. Yeah, so I think I would agree. Like Aribo, I think as well, Aribo's got a better first touch. He can pick a ball out of thin air. Like he's brilliant with that, and he's very exciting to watch at times. But there is some games where I don't think Aribo's up to the occasion. I don't think he's, for example, fast or strong enough in an Old Firm or bigger games. But then you can see him in Europe and other games, and he just puts in the performance. That's my personal opinion. However, Hadji frustrates me. I think he's a brilliant player. I think he's very smart. He can read the game well, but I think he's not for a boy of his age, he should be able to be putting in a solid performance the full 90 minutes. I feel like he dips in and out of performance. There's times where he really shines, and there's times where he really shines and he's doing brilliant and he's doing everything you want him to do, and the next thing you know, you're screaming at the telly like, what is he doing? What's he up to? Where was that pass going? Sometimes the pressure's on him and he just kicks the ball out. It's a very mixed bag, so I would say Aribo pips it for me, because I feel like if you want a job done, depending on the occasion, you can put Aribo in and he'll put a performance in. Whereas Hadji, it's a bit of a gamble. But I think he will come into his game. And as I said, I do like him as a player, but I think we need to give him a bit more time.
Anyway, we've been joined by all the way from Denver there. Evening, Denver.
Afternoon, guys and girls. How are we this fine and sunny day?
Evening, Denver.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing, Jodie?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I've decided that you and Bob Gerrard are coming over for the celebrations. You're not going to bring your guitar. You need to get a guitar when you're here. Too much lack of humidity here. So I've got a lead guitarist set up. I've got the guitar. I'll play the rhythm and the mandolin. Don't bring your guitar though, because too much lack of humidity here. So you'll never tune it. You go off your heat. You go nuts.
That's cool. Just give me a time and I'll be there.
Right, no bother. Well, we're doing a tour. Remember, I've got that 18-seater Hummer. We're starting in New York. We're going to Chicago. We're going to San Francisco, and then we're ending up in Denver. That's the deal, right?
Listen, Jodie, just remember what your mum told you about strange men in cars.
Sounds like Route 66, Denver.
Aye, that's it, Bridge. That's it. We're going to do it. I'm going to get a tow behind stage, and we're going to have all the players in the Hummer, and we'll be playing the music on the stage. That's it.
Sounds brilliant.
You like Jodie's music when she was on Denver?
Aye, she's good. I love it. What kind of guitar do you play, Jodie?
Currently, I've got a Yamaha Trans Acoustic.
All right.
So I love that. I've had a few others. I've had a massive collection. I've had a Martin Dreadnought Junior. I actually prefer the Yamaha to that though. And right. I had a mix between an Epiphone and a Gibson. See, when they used to be the one. Had them. My first ever guitar I bought myself was a Fender, but yeah, I had my mixed bag. But I'm enjoying the Trans Acoustic just now.
Good choice. Okay, excellent. All right, well, I just thought I'd give you the update for the tour of the United States and wish you all the best. And Rudy, I no bother. You're always welcome out here. It's no bother. We can get you sorted up, no problem. Rudy, I just came from my Mexican pal Jesus' house. His mom made me goat meat tacos. They were unbelievable, man, for my lunch. I can hardly move, and I'm driving out of town right now. Miss Magdalena. They were excellent. So.
That sounds smashing. Just my kind of thing, that is Denver. And if you're looking for a sound man for this American tour, give us a shout. I'll do the PA work for you.
I'll get you you're on the board there. I've got you down as the board man right away. Okay, Rudy?
Cheers, bud. Thank you.
We need to get a big armchair though if we eat all the goat meat tacos again then. So all the best, guys. Take care.
See you, Denver.
Denver.
Bye.
Ta-da.
That man's mental.
What man?
Him and his son came over last year for the game. It was rained off, Jodie, and they'd made plans. We got to Ibrox on Saturday, and then they were flying down to London early Sunday morning to go to London, see a bit of sights, and go to the Arsenal game. And when the game was moved to the Sunday, they decided to bin everything so they could go to Ibrox on the Sunday.
Oh my God, love him. He's my new best pal, Denver. If you're listening, you're top man.
He is a top lad, isn't he? He is a top lad.
Brilliant.
Right, what were we talking about? Right, okay. Alex, you mentioned the boy Wright. We've only seen bits and pieces of him, but I've got to be honest, what I've seen so far, I like.
Aye, he's a player.
I think this is his time. He's definitely got all the football there. He's quick, he can buy a defender and that, and I think that's what we need tomorrow night. I honestly think that guy, he's a good signing for us. He's definitely a good sign. I was going to say there, a few years when we were in the lower divisions and that, I get presented with a football strip, and it was all the players at that time, and they've signed it, it's autographed. I was just having a look at it the other night. There's half the names you couldn't remember. I know we'd got Andy Little and McCulloch and Lewis McLeod and all that, but to think where we were then, to where it now, it's like night and day. And I was going to hand into one of the local football teams for one of their sportsman's dinners, but I decided to keep it, and I've kept it. And it's quite unbelievable, the names that was in that Rangers team a way back.
We've came a long way in a relatively short space of time. And by the way, I don't think the Rangers story's finished with that. I think what's happening in the Scottish Government, there'll be serious questions asked of some of the things that's been on with the Rangers story as well. The total money it's been wasted in some of the things that's happened is unbelievable. But some of the players, mate, wouldn't have got near to playing for Rangers if circumstances would be normal. But they did, and some of them got to live the dream as well.
Well, they're part of history now, that's it. They're part of
Can he
history.
take it away from him?
Can he take it away? But some of the names, you're like, I try to work it out. And that's what we used to go and watch. Because he's supporting, he loved the Rangers, he went there every week to see them. And that was it. It's terrific where we are.
I think there was a couple of our youngsters ended up getting a job in the game, you know. Young Barry Mackay and what's the boy McCall? What was his name again? Was it McCall?
McLeod.
McLeod.
Lewis McLeod. He's still
a nice player. I thought he was a nice player. And so was
Lovely
Barry Mackay.
I'm saying Barry Mackay, they at least they've got themselves a job. I don't know what level they're at, but they've got themselves a job.
McLeod's at Plymouth.
McLeod's doing it at Plymouth now.
There you go.
He was in there, he's doing it at Plymouth.
What about Mackay?
Barry Mackay's playing with Fleetwood Town the last season.
Fleetwood Town.
You jump Crawford and Robbie Crawford. There's quite a few of them broke through in that, but we signed some players as well, right enough. But
I don't think Robbie Crawford made it as he ended up at Falkirk or something like that, and then went down the way.
Don't mention his name, mate. Southside will have he got him mixed up with a boy Crawford that played Livingston, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Is it Livingston or Mother? Was it no Mother?
Livingston is me.
Livingston, okay.
I just showed you where it came from. That's part of the history, Oxford.
You can't. Well, history. You've got to take the rough for the smooth, Jodie.
Yeah. As I said, that's what I remember all my teenage years, and I say that as if I'm ancient, but that's all the stuff I had to watch, getting all excited because Moshni's cracked a player, and you're like, oh, like, do you know what I mean? So it's definitely deserved, and as you said, you need to take the good with the bad with the good, and that's what I feel like. There's a fight, and this is why I absolutely love Tav, because he was involved with a lot of that nonsense and all the stuff we've had to go through, and to see him lifting the trophy for 55, that's going to be a beautiful sight. It's hard to put into words how much it's going to mean to everyone.
Could be this week, Jodie. Could be this
week. Oh God, you'll probably see me having a meltdown and greeting and all sorts.
You'll not be the only one. Bob just back with us. All right, Bob?
How you doing? I've got to apologise for Sabre and Fang.
Don't worry about that, man. Just carry on, mate.
As soon as you hear them, just cut me on the road, sir.
Did you say Sabre and Fang? Did you say Sabre and Fang?
Sabre and Fang, my two.
Oh my God, they sound like a Glasgow gang for years ago.
Oh, my Sabre and Fang. My Bijan and my Lassa Hapsel. Evil. Aye, it was good to hear Denver there saying that I'm going on a tour of America with Jodie. That would be fantastic. That would be great. I need to buy a new set of strings, Jodie, for the first time in 5 years.
This is full of guitar players, Jodie. What have you done to us?
I know. I'll get you bring different topics. We'll have a bit of Rangers, have a bit of cooking, have a bit of music.
We'll do that. Right, we'll play Singing the Blues, as always. That's all we'll play. Singing the blues all the time. But we'll all be singing the blues all the time. Yeah, it's going to be great this month, March. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And it's good to be back with you. Yanis Hadji got the potential. You notice he can cut outside. You're with me here, Bridge. He can cut inside on bare feet and hit it, that laddie.
Indeed he can.
Like I used to do when I was up there. I think he's got
I've heard all this rubbish before for other people on here. I can say that.
Oh, no, but I only needed the man fit, but what a fit it was.
Listen to that. Yeah.
Listen to
that. There you go.
By the way, the travelling water bears.
The travelling water bears, aye. Yep, but it's out of the good. And I'm going to sign out auction. Thanks for having me back. Great to hear from you again. And I think we'll win tomorrow night. I think it might be a wee bit of a sort of a bit. I've got fears tomorrow night about this bloody pitch. I didn't like them. I think they should be banned. But as we keep saying, we play, we win. So onwards to tomorrow. All the best, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Cheers.
Cheers, Bob.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Oxford, I'm going to sign it as well. Let somebody else in. Thanks for having us tonight. All the best, everybody, and all the best, Jodie. Take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Cheers, Alex. Speak to you soon, mate. Yeah, enjoy the game tomorrow.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Bob.
All the best.
What's the score going to be tomorrow, Jodie?
I'm going with 2-0.
I'd take that. That'd be an exciting game for you, Bridge.
That would be double the norm. No, I'll stick with my 1-0. I'll be happy. I've got 1-0. I'll be happy if it's a 6-0 or 7-0. I'd be over the moon with that. But no, 1-0 will do me. It'll do me fine.
Aye. It's all about winning, Jodie, this time of the season, isn't it? It's all about winning. That's what really matters, really.
Yeah, 3 points up the road, minimal injuries. Hopefully, no one gets not adding to the injury list. That's the main for me. And then get the 3 points, and then it's back on again for Saturday for St Mirren. So that's what I want. I do think it'll be 2-0. But as I said, I'd be happy with just the 3 points, however it may be done.
Rudy Bear.
A Bridgeman will do me tomorrow night, Ox. Though I would like to see a wee bit of the style that we showed on Thursday night. I think that would be great, but that plastic part's not exactly conducive, is it, to that type of football? So, because some of the football we played on Thursday was outstanding. I think we'll score a few though, Ox. I'm going to go for a 3-1. I think I'll go for a 3-1. I think Alfredo will get 1 or 2. And I think Ryan Kent seems to be coming into a wee bit of form just now as well. I think Ryan Kent will possibly get 1 tomorrow as well. So 3-1 for me, I think.
Are you listening to this? Are you listening?
There you go.
I think they'll be a bit down tomorrow night. We're going to play with that tempo we did last Thursday, and I'm going for 4-0 the Rangers.
4-0. I like your style.
Go on yourself, Oxford. Go on yourself.
Any Patrick's in amongst that, or?
No, Alfredo's going to get 2, and Stevie G's going to take him off, and I'll laugh at him again.
I thought you were going to say Stevie G's going to just run out and pop the other 2 in.
Yeah. No, at least a brace for Alfredo, and then we'll whip him off the park, protect him. And Scott Wright will get his first goal tomorrow night, just for Alex at some point, either coming on as sub. And Big Golston's going to get 1 for a set piece. There you go.
Well, I hope you're right, Ox.
I'm never usually right.
No, I didn't want to say that.
I think we've been doing this team for years, and I don't think I've ever got it right.
I don't think. I mean, the last couple of seasons anyway, we certainly haven't, have we? I don't think anybody's got the team right. He seems to like to chuck one in that you're not expecting, Stevie G, doesn't he? So maybe Alex is right. Maybe you might see Scott Wright tomorrow. Maybe it's his kind of game, you know.
You never know. I mean, I have been quietly impressed with the boy. I'm not saying he's been, you know, I've not seen a lot of him, but what I've seen, he's shown desire, speed.
The way he played that to get that penalty, though, was brilliant. The play involved in that for the penalty.
And I've noticed he wants the ball, Jodie, all the time when he's on the park. Have you noticed that? He's always calling for it, so he is, you know. So
It wasn't just, but that's what I'm saying. When I was watching the game, he is smart. He's a young boy. He's a good talent, and that when he got that penalty, it wasn't just like I think he proper thought about it. He knew what he was doing, and yeah, I think he's going to grow into the game massively, and I think he's going to grow into the team.
He's got something. He's got something that defenders absolutely are petrified of, and that's pace, Jodie. Do you know that?
Definitely.
Some pace on.
It's exciting to see, because obviously what we love about Kent so much is he runs at defenders. Like it's nice to see. Wright's the same. Like you can just see that he's up for it. He'll go for it, and he gets stuck in what was the game, and he went right in for a challenge. He didn't back out any 50-50s or anything. So he's going to be exciting to watch. But yeah, I like him. I don't see him starting yet. I don't see him. I think he's still got a wee bit to come in, but definitely he'll be involved tomorrow.
It's going to be a laugh for him. He's going to be getting a league winners medal. Huh?
I know.
Yeah. He's going to take a picture and send up in McInnes. Yeah. He's got one. Yeah. He's got one. But I'll be interested to see how he does. I've been quietly impressed with him, Bridgeman.
Yeah, I'm very impressed as well, I have to say. I have to say that, in all honesty, I'm so impressed with everybody in our team. I really am. And our management. I can't find the words sometimes, because I feel so happy and high about it all. That's the way I feel. I just want my team to go out and do the business now. Just get me 3 points. That's all I want. That's all I want. Sorry, boys. That's all I want. That's all I want.
You're a simple man, aren't you? Easily pleased. He's no replying to me. So you went for 2. Who's
a very simple man. I'm a very simple man.
Who's getting the goals for you, Jodie?
For my 2 goals tomorrow, I would say there's going to be a Goldson header for a set piece, and a goal from our lovely, lovely Alfie. That's what I see.
Be interesting to see if we get a penalty if Barisic puts it in the same place, Jodie.
God, I know. Get that. That's more up. But I genuinely do think, I feel that it will be definitely a goal for Goldson. I've got this feeling about it from a set piece, and Alfredo will secure us a lovely goal.
Yeah. I hope you're right. Rudy, this could be the week.
Could be Ox to get the 3 points tomorrow night, back down the road again, and then we'll see what happens at the weekend. And you're right, Ox, but it could be the week, and we've waited such a long time for it, haven't we? I was saying to you the other night, I'm just sort of anticipation's just starting to get it, but that's so close to it. It's getting the better of me. Come that final game, when we can finally get it out of the line. There's no way I'll be able to sleep. I'll be up the night before, pacing the flare and thinking about it. And it's and this could be the week that happens. And in all honesty, I just can't wait to get it done now. Because I just want it all. Like everybody feels the same. Nobody wants it to drag out any longer than it needs to be drawn out. Just get it done quickly as possible. But what I would say about that is, Ox, if we do manage to get it done this week, what a feat that is. Winning the league by the first week in March. You know, that's brilliant, Ox. It really is. You have to hand it to them, don't you? You've got to hand it to them.
And it looks as if the Scottish Cup's going to take place.
Aye, yeah. I think there was a meeting going on the night to finalise some details or some stuff. You know, I think there's still the lower leagues are well, I think it was more today where they're going to play 27 games, or are they going to play the 18? They can't play the 27 if the Scottish Cup's going to be taking place. But then they're trying to figure out how could they play like an 18 games finish to the season and play the Scottish Cup as well. They'll try to talk their way around about it. I think everybody wants the Scottish Cup to go ahead, Ox. I would like to see it go ahead, because it just means that we get the opportunity.
Well, you can play the 32 one Saturday, the 16, the Wednesday, and the quarter-final the next Saturday. So basically, within a week, you've only got 4 teams left.
Aye, and certainly for us, for the Scottish Cup to go ahead, it gives Stevie G and the team an opportunity to pick up their second bit of silverware, doesn't it, by the time the Scottish Cup comes in, you know? So I would like to see it go ahead.
Okay, we've been joined by Baloo the Bear. How are we doing, Baloo?
I'm not too bad, Ox, yourself.
Aye, good to hear from you, mate. What's on your mind, brah?
No, I've been listening a wee bit tonight. I've been listening the last few nights. I get a very good laugh
The wee man when he gets his new bank card, he went to the shop.
Oh, George. Oh, that was funny.
Brilliant. That was brilliant. He's obviously, doesn't he? Man is a hat.
Oh, mate, he's brilliant. He told it to somebody in the reception. I think the some of the language was a wee bit more choice, mate.
I'm not surprised.
You know,
he can hardly keep it doing on the radio. So
he's a character, and I tell you what, he's a right good.
Well, I just came in the night and picked up the coffee, Denver Bear, and I was having a good laugh at him as well. And I was thinking, when he left Glasgow, it shows you how the world's changed, because when he left Glasgow to go for America, a big Hummer would have been a fart, would it not?
No.
Is that bad language?
No, not at all. It's just a bad joke.
Well, that's allowed.
I mean, come on, Rudy, everybody knows that's I did a bad jokes on here.
If there's any bad jokes to be handed over on the show, that's your job, Ox, without a shadow of a doubt.
It wasn't bad, but
I don't think it was bad at all. Not as bad as some of yours, though, you know. But it was pretty good. Well done,
but listen, but he's that young. He's not got the experience to tell really bad
once
jokes.
Once I get that maturity about me.
Once you get a few years behind you, you'll be all right. So I just heard you saying about the Scottish Cup there when I was turning it down. Is it on?
Oh yeah, but obviously the lower leagues are getting permission to go back into training. Yeah.
All right, good. That'll make it interesting. That'll maybe give some of the young. It depends what the draw is, but it could give some of the younger members of the squad on it for us as well.
As I said the other night, before I bring Jodie in this, I think it'll depend on Europe, what teams we play going forward. As long as we keep rolling in Europe, I think that'll come into consideration once the league's done. But at the moment, I think Stevie G will try and win every game.
Yep, Stevie G's definitely after the league. It's definitely, but I mean that's nearly there anyway. And you said a minute ago yourself, you said this could be the week, couldn't it?
Yeah, when you go, Jodie.
Yeah, I think this is the week it'll be done. I think, like you said, Steven Gerrard's main focus has been the league, but I think I can see us putting in a shift against the Slavia Prague. I can see us going for Europe. I don't think this Rangers team like losing, and that's what we've been missing. And I can see, I've said it for day dot, I think we will go this full domestic campaign. So the league, I think we'll go unbeaten. And I think we are going to make a name for ourselves in Europe. Not that we haven't already, but yeah, I think as it goes through, you saw that the Slavia Prague players were on the plane cheering when they found out that they got us, and I can understand why. It was the draw. There was some top teams in there, but yeah, I can see us putting a performance, and I think we're just going to keep going from strength to strength. And I hope that these words don't come back to haunt me, but I genuinely do. I can see it being done. The league definitely being done within a week, and then I would love to see us going really far in Europe, and that's it. Helping the Scottish coefficient. Just Rangers doing Rangers things, eh?
Yeah, and the rest of Scottish football can thank us any time they like, Jodie, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not be holding your breath now.
No.
Yeah, I think if the league finished today, Hibs have got a big thank you. I think potentially they're well into the qualifiers for the Europa League. You know, where they would play, which is pretty frightening, really, considering they've done nothing. You know, so anytime you want to thank us, Mr. Petrie, yeah?
Yeah, give us a call.
Yeah,
Going in the show, Mr. Petrie.
356 1972.
Here between 8 and 10, you know where to find us.
I might borrow some of George's choice words, below if Mr. Petrie ever phoned in.
Even get George to take a call. George could take a call for us.
Aye, maybe.
I think rather than dial that number, Mr. Petrie would rather cut his finger off, folks, in all honesty, you know what I mean?
Maybe, mate, maybe. The damage the people have done to Scottish football, unbelievable.
I know.
Unbelievable. But right, okay. Below, quickly, what's your team for tomorrow night?
My team, I've not given it any thought, but pretty well the same team that started the other day. I would go with what we had the other night. I think that's going to be just as good.
Well, obviously, it looks as if Balogun's out, mate, so...
Balogun's not back in yet. He's out. Gerrard said he was out.
So you'll play the young boy Patson, eh?
Definitely, aye. Great. Well, he's in now. I mean, he's great performances, so you've got to give him a shout, haven't you? And I think that'll be a victory. I think maybe 2 or 3 goals. And like Jody was saying there, two wins, and that's a league wrapped up, and then we can just think about this European side.
Yep.
Well, 2 wins, we can only be caught if we lose every game, and the goal difference flips round to about 30, roughly, depending how the game's going the next week.
Aye.
But it's no over mathematically, so we'll then be going to a certain place to clinch it, depending what happens with their result on Sunday. Simple as that.
Aye.
Jody?
Aye.
Yep. I mean, it's like a catch-22. Do you want to win the league at Parkhead, or do you want them to give it up and we win it? Either way, but I think it would be beautiful. I think the only heartbreaking thing about if we won it at Parkhead is not having the fans there, because that would have been some game. But yeah, I have to agree. I think I sound like a broken record tonight, but I think the league will be wrapped up. I don't think that will stop though. I don't see the team winning the league early on and then just not caring. I think they are going for an unbeaten run. I think Gerrard's got a point to prove. That this is a proper side. As Mr. King said, they folded like a pack of cards. I know I'm very heavy on tonight, but yeah, I genuinely, this is a team that have got the belief they know what they're doing. They're going to go for full success in the league, and they will focus on Europe. And they've made a lot of Rangers fans very happy. And long may it continue. I think this is us. We're going to go higher and higher for here. So yep, just hopefully no injuries, and that's us.
Yeah. Don't worry about injuries. Fate's turning our way, Jody. Fate's turning our right, Bridgeman?
Well, I have to agree with her to a certain extent, but my feeling is, in all honesty, I don't really care where we win the league. I'm just be really happy if we win it. But it would be, maybe a lot of folks' wishes would be that we win it over there. Personally, if we can win it before that would ease all the pressure, and we can just go on with our life. Get the League One and go on with our life, and forget all about Scottish football and all the pressures in it. Just go and relax and play to the best of your ability, which we know will be far too good for anybody in this country. Far too good.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it happens on Sunday, a few people with big kids on the Monday no making it round here.
Absolutely.
And there'll be a few off of work come Monday morning, I'd say. Ricky's getting shot.
There'll be a lot
we might even have a special show. I'm
working for him, Gaffer.
Yeah, the phone lines will be right hot with sickies.
Oh dear, nothing's open.
And they'll not just be blue noses either, I bet you.
Yeah.
There'll be a few folk hiding behind their couches.
Right, you'll not believe this. We've reached that time of the evening, Bridge.
What happened?
Oh no, what can I say? Well, by the way, I have to say it's been a fantastic night. Really enjoyable. Well done to Jody, and well done to yourself at Oxford. It's just brilliant night. Great patter. Loved all that. Great commitment. Great content. Marvellous. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, in particular Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, one more sleep and maybe a nap. One more sleep and maybe a nap for me, and then the game's on. Biggest game of the season for the Rangers is coming up. So everybody, keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us. Keep it going.
Yeah, Jody, a few words for you before we go.
Yeah, thanks so much. Obviously, my first ever night. Not singing songs and hiding behind the guitar. So, thanks so much for everyone for being so lovely in the comments. It's good to talk about Rangers, the team I love. Show that I'm not just the bird that sings and that bird with the guitar that sings Rangers songs. But yeah, thanks so much. And as everyone's saying, this could be the week, guys. The excitement is just wild, and let's keep it going and let's support the Rangers. And I hope everyone enjoys the game tomorrow, and we're all celebrating come 9 o'clock and we're all dancing about. I can never sleep after a game as well, so always makes for a mental day in work, try to stay awake, but it's worth it. So yeah, thanks so much everyone, and hope we all enjoy, and we'll be shouting and screaming about 55 very soon.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Jodie. Thanks to Bridgman, thanks to Rudy, Baloo, and all the lads who joined us earlier on. Denver Bear, Bob Gerrard, Jim 115, and I hope Alex and all the boys who joined us. It was great hearing from everybody. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals, everybody for taking part in Rangers Radio and all the platforms. We really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow night after the match. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff, for anybody that's no notice, a 6 p.m. kickoff. We'll be back tomorrow night, approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle, celebrating a Rangers win. Thanks for listening. Please stay safe. Speak to you tomorrow night. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. When McAvenny scored the first, the beggars thought it was the first of many. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. It didn't take long to realise when Super Ali equalised. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then up stepped Super D. It was a 30-yarder all the way. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then Andrews claimed he couldn't see when Super Ali made it 3. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. The Ibrox fans, well, they wanted more when Kevin Drinkle made it 4. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, Ibrox Park, it came alive when the bold Mark Walters, he made it 5. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. When Billy McNeil went home that night, he said to his wife, the Celtic are shy. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha-cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. You got me singing the blues.